Hi everyone, here's today's asynchronous directions. So when you go into social studies, you will see a few items that have been posted. The levels of questions presentation that we reviewed yesterday, and then your 3 assignments for today, which is submitting an example of each of the levels of questions. So I suggest that you open up my presentation from yesterday. I suggest you either flip back and forth between the tabs, or you shrink your screen and split your screen. So what I mean is hold down this levels of questions tab and I can pull it out into a separate window. So now I can see my presentation and I can resize it so I can see. I'm going to click this down here. Here we go. Oh, this doesn't want to work for me. Well, there it is. Okay, and then zoom in. So I'm going to be using this presentation to help me, and there's a couple of slides that you can use. This slide gives you some question starters if you're stuck, or you can go to each of the individual level slides to help give you some more specific examples that you can model after. So once you have this presentation up, you're going to use what we learned yesterday to submit an example of a level 1 question, submit an example of a level 2 question, and submit an example of a level 3 question. So you're going to have to click on each of these links or items, posted items, and submit each of these to me. So here's an example of 1. So the directions are submit an example of a level 1 question. So just like we did yesterday on the Padlet, I know first period we were having lots of trouble with that assignment because of technology, but the rest of you should be familiar with the Padlet. We're doing the same thing, but you're submitting a question here. So we're going to review good examples in class. So I'm going to look at your examples. I'm going to pull good examples and we're going to review them in class tomorrow. And later we're going to add some in your notebooks. So when you click view assignment, here's your question. So you're going to submit an example of a level 1 question. This will be a spot for you to type, and I actually already typed one in here and turned it in. So maybe I should show you the other example because here it is. Okay, so for example, when you click on one of these assignments and view question, it'll tell you at the top what you need to do. So submit an example of a level 2 question. Here's where I'm going to submit my example. So I'm going to look at the level 2 slide over here. So level 2, I need to read between the lines. It should be an inference. It should include some sort of evidence that I have to support my answer with. Here's example questions. So why did everything turn back the way it was except for the glass slipper in regards to Cinderella? Why was Cinderella treated differently than her stepsisters? How can Columbus be viewed as a hero or villain? How would life be different if Spanish settlers never made it to New Mexico? So I'm going to use this as a guide to help me write my question. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to type a question that I think of that is a good level 2 example. So this could be over a movie you've recently watched. It could be over a well-known story. It could be over some sort of history that you've studied last year, something that you're currently studying in class. So as long as it's level 2 and it's appropriate for the classroom, it doesn't really matter what you type here. Okay, so you would type your question here, and I'm just going to use one of mine from my presentation. You need to type a different question. So why did everything turn back the way it was except the glass slipper in the story Cinderella? Okay, and once you've typed your question, you'll have the option to turn in. Please remember you're starting your questions in capital letters and you are ending your questions with question marks, okay? We need to continue to practice that proper grammar. Then you'll turn in and go back to your class for the next question. You'll have to do the same thing for level 3 and the same thing for level 1. And that is it for today. Turning these in will count as your attendance for the class period. I'm not going to give grades for this assignment because it's practice, and we're going to use these examples to put some stuff in our notebook, which will be graded next week. But please submit these responses so you get marked present for the day. Thank you.